Hello folks, I'm John Laspina, your carnivore teacher here on YouTube. Today we're going to talk about the slave diet. What were slaves fed? They were fed the cheapest food possible, and that food was grains. There's a lot of names in the grain family. You know wheat and rice and corn and barley, oats, and there's a whole list of grains. I'll put them here on the screen. Lots of grains. Beans, which are legumes, all kinds of beans. Sugar. So grains, beans, rice, starch, and that's all slaves were fed in a form of slop, in the form of bread. And it kept the slaves alive, and it kept them not very healthy, but alive. And that's what slaves were fed because it was affordable, while the slave masters were eating steaks, eating bacon and pork and eggs and chicken. They were eating like kings, and the slaves were eating like slaves, peasants. And think about our foods today. What are we feeding our children in schools? Oh my gosh, I'm a former middle school teacher. I know, I've seen the food in the middle school cafeterias for the free breakfast that they gave the kids and the lunches, and there may be remnants of meat and egg and maybe some fish in some of the food, but it's deep fried in peanut oil, seed oil. It's laced with confectioner's sugar, sprinkled on top of things. Everything's deep fried and breaded in flour, which is wheat bleached gunk. And that's what we're feeding children? Seriously? And then they put on their menus, it really disgusts and angers me that it's heart healthy, that it's nutritious, that it fits the food pyramid in the My Plate, and now all the kids are getting everything from all the categories of food and they're getting good nutrition. Flat out lies. They're poisoning the children. And they're doing the same thing to prisoners in prisons. They're doing the same thing to people in institutions. If you go to old age homes, the food isn't that great. And we people who have the money and the ability go out and we're buying a lot of the same things. We're buying packaged and processed foods that are high in starch, sugar, seed oils. This is peasant food. This is what poor people eat, what slaves ate. It's what people eat in institutions. It's really crazy that this is what they serve in a hospital. You're there to get well, to be treated with respect and dignity and given treatment that you don't know about that they do because they researched it and made it their passion in life and their profession. And then the food comes around right after your surgery or procedure. And what is the food? It's Jell-O, which is full of sugar. It's low-fat milk, skim milk, which is full of sugar and not enough healthy fat. They're giving you margarine for the bread because they don't want to give you butter because maybe you're in the cardiac room, the cardiac section. It's maddening. And the food system in the hospitals, I understand, is not connected to the doctors and their decisions and the health of the hospital. That's another system that the hospital pays. Well, the hospital needs to look a little more closely. I would certainly be willing to pay out of pocket if I'm in the hospital for better food. I really would. And if I ever have to go in the hospital, again, I've been in 1 or 2 times for minor things, I would absolutely ask my loved ones to bring me food. Bring me some beef. Bring me some eggs. Bring me the butter. I don't care what they say on my chart that I can or can't have. I know what's good for me because I've done the research. I am a carnivore. I eat beef, lamb, pork, poultry, fish, and eggs. I cook in saturated animal fats. No seed oils. I don't want to touch a slave diet. I don't want to have institution food, prison food, hospital food. I want food, not food-like products. I want food, not toxic chemicals. I want real food. And you should demand real food too. So speak up and speak out at restaurants. If you ever have to go into the hospital, you're the boss, you're paying for it. You tell them, I demand to have real eggs cooked in butter and real bacon, and I want real butter, and I don't want that bread, and I don't want that Jell-O. And if you're going to bring me milk, bring me whole milk. And if they say, no, we can't, it's not part of your plan, you demand it because you're the customer, you're the client. Screw them. Sign off saying, I am aware that you told me I'm not allowed to have this, and if I have it, I could have a heart attack and die. And then you just sign your name so that they're not liable. All they care about is that they're not liable. They don't care about you, believe it or not, in a hospital. All they care about is their steps, their procedures, their standard of care. They follow procedure. They don't really look at the human aspect of being in a hospital or an institution. And what does the person need? Eat real, whole, one ingredient, animal product foods, and don't eat slave or peasant or institution or cafeteria or hospital food, which is grains, which is legumes, which is starch, sugar, and seed oils. Eat the proper human diet and you won't go to the hospital. You won't need procedures. And you have to stand up for yourself and choose these foods because they're pushed in our face at every angle in the world. Everywhere you go is the standard world diet, full of starch, sugar, and seed oil. You must make conscious decisions to not eat that stuff and to pick the healthy stuff, which, if that's all you're buying, by the way, is cheaper than when you're buying all that other stuff and the snacks and all the cereals and the crap food. You may think you're spending more money because this one package costs a lot, but it's going to last you. You're not going to eat lots of food. You're just going to eat until you're full. You're not going to eat again until the next meal. It's an amazing way of eating. It's the way we're supposed to eat, our ancestral diet. I'm ranting, I'm raving, I'm going to stop. Click the thumbs up, share, watch some of my other videos if you're interested, and have a really great day, ladies and gentlemen.